Gonna talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Apparently, Drake banned Schoolboy Q from doing the show, and allegedly banned Schoolboy Q from doing the show in Canada over Kendrick Lamar. You know they TDE. So now he's banning people over like us, and to I he basically took the IG to confirm it by wearing a free Yayo shirt, Tony Yayo shirt, because Tony Yayo said a lot of people scared to speak out against Drake and the Kendrick beef because Drake can ban you from Canada. And also, I'm gonna kick a little bit of knowledge on people who say they don't listen to Kendrick Lamar. I don't think they should even be in debates in hip hop. They shouldn't be debating anything about who's the greatest. And this happens with Jay Z as well too. I'm not the biggest fan of Jay Z the person, but the artist. I will not argue people who say he's the greatest rapper of all time. I cannot argue that. He got some of my favorite albums of all time. Reasonable Doubt is dope. I'm in the minority. Me and Kofi go subscribe to my brother Kofi Universe. We was just talking about I'm usually in the minority. I was a huge fan of Kingdom Come album. Um, so it's a lot of people say, well, I don't even listen to Kendrick Lamar. I don't listen to Nas. I don't. But then they try to turn around and tell you, well, Drake's the greatest rapper of all time, or I don't know, oh, Pimp C's the greatest rapper of all time, and you tend to get people from the South who say, well, I don't listen to Kendrick or I don't listen to this guy, but then they try to sit here and have a debate with you about the greatest rappers of all time, and they don't know anything about rap because you didn't listen. They don't listen to a lot of knowledgeable lyricists. Oh, Nas, he trying to kick knowledge. I don't listen. They like ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna kind of dig my teeth into that because I think it need to be said, and I'm probably gonna do a video just for the hell of it to do a video format on that particular topic because it gets on my nerves. Because then these be the loudest people, and these be the same people that do the complex, or debating about when the complex or the Billboard do a top 100 greatest rappers of all time or greatest rap albums of all time. You saying, oh man, he shouldn't be there, but you never listen to the album. You don't listen to the artist. And a lot of people in rap, and this is really historically, especially amongst people who aren't rap or hip hop heads, who can't tell you the elements of hip hop, b boy, MC, DJ, graffiti. We can go on and on, right? And people who don't know anything about the culture of hip hop, you know, they be the main ones trying to tell you who's the best, but you never listen to the album. And I hear people say, this kind of one of the things I kind of talk when I kind of first started talking about hip hop and albums and stuff of that nature. One of the things I said is, it's no way that I could listen to an album one time and say it's a classic or say it's a flop or say it's garbage or it's trash. Like a lot of times I gotta listen to an album about 5, 10 times, like 5 times minimum, 10 times to really get a grasp on how great the album really is. And then even if you listen to it 10 times, like you can listen to it from 3 or 4 years from now, and you be like, damn, with the nostalgia on top, you like, damn, that was a classic. But let's talk about Drake first. Shout out to Dan Barry. Happy Thursday going to Friday. So apparently, if you don't know, you ain't seen my video or you ain't heard, Schoolboy Q, he's with TDE. I love his first album. I don't know much about him after that, honestly. He had the Collard Green song, Man of the Year. That's my shit. I still be banging Man of the Year, man. He's a really good rapper. Double tap the screen and like the video. I appreciate that so I can get the impressions so we can get into the algorithm. So for the most part, he said that Drake banned him from doing a show in Canada. We seen what happened with Rick Ross. So maybe it was a fear of him playing like us, whatever like that. But I'm gonna speak a little bit about Ross too and Bobby Smurder. So I'm gonna kind of intertwine that in there. If you didn't see the video from earlier, know what happened. So basically, Drake got splattered, got his head knocked in by Kendrick Lamar, and that was to be expected. He thought J. Cole was going he was gonna tag team him, and like I said in my video earlier, Kendrick Lamar was minding his business. That's when people don't. Sometimes you let sleeping dogs lie. You don't go knock on John Wick door and kill John Wick dog. And you don't want them problems, and that's basically what he did. They did that first shooter song, and they woke a monster up. The nigga was just chilling, raising his kids, chilling with his family, And then they came bringing that drama to the door. J. Cole stepped out the way. He said, "You can get a diss, you can get off of this song off on me." Pause. And Kendrick was like, "Nah, let this light skinned ninja hype him up." And what happened was it was a massacre. He drug him. Drake tried to do the up tempo beat, like he tried to do the up tempo 40 beat, and Kendrick Euphoria really, from a lyrical pure hip hop standpoint of view, we talking about this in the barbershop. That was actually the better song. But when Kendrick stepped out of his comfort zone and did a dance song, shout out to DJ Mustard, like us, that was over with. I didn't like none of them Drake diss songs. I'm not a Drake fan per se. I like some of his albums. Like my favorite was Take Care. Um, I remember my mom was talking and she was like, he's talented. I'm like, he really don't have a talent because he don't really write. He can sing a bit, but how much is the engineer, doing that? Like his talent is the money behind him and being Jewish. That's just really the talent. Jimmy from Degrassi, that's the talent. But he's still the same corny ass ninja that did Degrassi. But that's how they able to pivot his image because he got that Jewish money behind him, right? And he does have, his father was a musical talent, so be it. But from a standpoint of view, like he ain't really writing much of it. He could perform it and all that type of stuff. But I mean, when I talk about talent as far as from a rap perspective, I look at guys like Busta, Jay, Nas, I mean even DMX, and Tupac, they might be two of the most talented people to grace the microphone because it was deeper than just rap. They were you can feel their persona, you can feel their music. You know what I'm saying? Even with you felt the nostalgia before the nostalgia was there with those guys. Like you felt their music. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you feel like. Man, I was listening to I didn't know who this guy was real quick, so I'm gonna venture off for a second. So Rollo, he did an interview on Say Cheese, so it must have been the day after he got out, and Say Cheese made just released the interview, whatever. And I didn't know who he was, so I had to ask Kobe who he was. And apparently he was a rapper that snitched, and he said that the paperwork was actually fake, that he snitched out of Atlanta. And I'm halfway through the interview, and he seemed like he got humbled by prison. He did 6 out of his 8 years in prison, so he seemed to got humbled in prison. But you know, it was a really good interview. I like Say Cheese. He did a really, 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 really good interview with him. And what's so funny about it, what made me think about it was he talked about how close him and young Dolph was, and how it was a fucked up day when Dolph died. I was just thinking like that was a horrible day when Nipsey died, and when Dolph died, it was just a bad day. It was when Dolph died. Oh man, dude, that was a really bad day. He basically said cell phone got took in jail, so he didn't know what happened, and this for me that was a bad day. And seeing how many people that brother touched, and not like obviously you know what I mean, but pause. But his story about how Dolph never charged for future, nonetheless. It kind of thinking like I remember when Tupac died, man. Oh my god, bro, like it was surreal. It was a surreal moment, bro. Like people was having like many funerals, many wakes. People like the grown man was crying when Pac died. Like you just had to be there. But the way DMX and Pac, like, I just can't really explain it. Like they music, like they talent, they voice, they energy, how they able to paint a video, even if you listen to it off cassette or CD or MP3, whatever we listen to now. Like they are two of the most talented rappers of all time. And one of the reasons I consider Tupac, better than Biggie, it's not to the point where Biggie was more lyrical, yeah, but Tupac had the it factor. And he had more catalog, but Tupac had the it factor. You know what I'm saying? Like Biggie just didn't have it. He can write you can, tell a story. Like, I mean, they should turn some of his music into like a short TV series. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Pac, you just felt a different jolt of energy, a different passion, a different authenticity in this music. You felt the same thing with DMX, to be honest, man. Like it ain't no other rappers like them. Their music was soulful. It was impactful. It was meaningful. It was infectious. I mean, that, not too many. I mean, the only other rapper I can think of that really had who really had that close to that was Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is the only rapper I can think of who can remotely be in that sphere. That can be in that era. Like talent, passion, energy, vivid picture. I mean, he's the only one, but nonetheless, like Drake lacks anything of substance in my opinion. And that's just my opinion on it, right? But he's corny. He's a real corny dude. Corniness led him into this battle. I don't really remember how the Pusha T battle got started, to be honest. I don't remember why that and how that started, but I did know he didn't respond. I think he probably was feeling himself off after defeating Meek was a known battle rapper, but battle rapping and making a song, obviously we found out quick, fast, in a hurry. It was two different things. And on top of that, he never responded to Pusha T. And I think what Drake is probably searching for at this point is validity from the true hip hop heads. And to me, he didn't have to go battle Pusha T for that. He didn't have to battle Kendrick for that. He just had to make an album without fucking singing on it. All right, that's all he had to do was make an album make a real hip hop album. At this point, people didn't care if he wrote it or not. The genre is so, or the culture in the genre rap is so watered down. People didn't care if he just gave people 15 tracks or even the LP of eight to 10 tracks of just rapping. I think people would have been fine with it. I think people would have been fine with it. And I think that's how, he would have got his I think that's how he would have, he could have just, got the acceptance from the community, from the culture. But at the end of the day, banning people from coming to Canada, that just lets you know he didn't take the loss well. He trolling on his Instagram story with the Yayo shirt, the Free Tony Yayo show shirt, basically referring to Yayo doing an interview on Vlad TV, saying that people that went against Drake, he was gonna ban them from Canada. That's why people not saying much. And my thing is this, bro. He painted his fingernails, got beat up by Puff. People forget that he got beat up by Puff because he stole 100 bands beat from Puff. So people tend to forget that he stole 100 bands beats. So that's why Puff allegedly put him in the sling. And he just like got a complex. Like he really want to be like being the biggest artist in the world. One of the biggest artists, it wasn't good enough, right? He wants to like be accepted by hip hop heads. And my thing is this: the South fully accept him. The South is the new New York of rap, of hip hop. The South is the new hip hop. It's the new mecca of hip hop. Back in the day, everything used to go through New York City. Now everything going through Atlanta, and through the South. They got all the record labels, Def Jams, and all that type of stuff. And on top of that, he got New York. New York has Drake back. So having New York and having the South wasn't good enough for Drake. Being one of the biggest artists wasn't big enough to Drake. So I guess you constantly looking for new challenges. But, ultimately, even with Kendrick Lamar lost, it was just a smear on his resume. Like he could have went on, did another album, did another world tour. People it would have been water under the bridge. Really, nobody brings up the Pusha T stuff to him, so it's really nothing. He's such a star in the grand scheme of things. Like, is he getting bored? He just looking for challenges at this point. That's what you got. Even Meek Mill. As soon as Meek Mill left Nicki Minaj, Meek Mill's life improved. Think about that. Meek Mill was sliding down his mama's stairs, getting caught on the Ring doorbell. Meek Mill couldn't win when Nicki Minaj was on his arm. He couldn't see it. Drake was beefing with Meek Mill over a woman that he said that he wanted to marry on wax. I mean, on record, he wanted to marry Nicki Minaj just to say we did it. And she didn't want nothing to do with Drake. She liked gangsters. She liked Pookies and Ray Rays like the rest of these women. She didn't want corny Drake. She took a pedophile over Drake. So that kind of tell you, bro, like just a little small detour that even if you got money, these women in our community don't even care if you got money. They got a type. And a lot of they types is hood and gangster. And what's so funny, a little small detour real quick, and I'm gonna get right back on it. Pause. So you can't know Kobe somewhere, hey yo, you pause, ninja. But the double tap the screen to thumbs up the video. I was out with this girl Saturday, and we talk, we getting to know each other. And she was like, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I have friends that, and a real true story. Like I have friends that had Glocks in the bushes, before we went to school. I had, people that carried blades on. I had a friend that carried a tutu in the Vaseline jar. I told this story before. He had wrapped the tutu in some like plastic, some saran wrap, and he was sticking in the Vaseline jar, put the cap over the Vaseline jar, and then go through the metal detector. The bag don't go through the metal detector, go off the table. The thing is Vaseline. Swoom. I had a homegirl. I got beat up over her one time. No, true story. I'll tell that story another time. And she used to carry 3 or 4 switchblades when she went to Northwestern in her mouth and talk like I'm talking now. So, I had friends that sold crack. I had friends that real story. My mom had an escort, and it's just in the alley. It's not an alley like you think it is. When I lived on Finkel, it's like a little grass alley, like a halfway alley, and we had a driveway, and it probably was a garage there, but it was like a little driveway you pull up in the back of the corner house. And I had 2 cars. My mom had a car, and I had a car, and then we had the escort in the alley. So my friends used to trap out the escort. So he used to have like, how like you got the panel that go on top of the car, like that little plastic panel that the seatbelt cover the seatbelt, and the panel that go on top of it's like a little panel. It might be wires or nothing that go on the top. He used to have crack in the panel at top. He used to have a crack, stashed the crack in the panel. He didn't think the car worked, so he was trapping out the escort. So his stash was, in the escort. So, somebody asked for whatever, he'd go to the pan. I didn't know this. He would go to the panel on the escort, grab the crack, serve him. True story. So one day, my car, something happened with my car or whatever, or I decided to take the escort because I had 2 cars, the escort and I had a Cougar. So I took the escort because I drove far to school. So I'm like, man, this is good on gas or whatever. Probably would, or the registration ran out of my Cougar. I don't know. So we took the escort. So we driving around. We were coolie high driving around. It was a snow day. We fooling, bro. Like we doing some wild shit. So we get back. My nigga was like, my crack was in your car, bro. He's like, my crack was in the car. I didn't know this car moved, bro. My bad. It was took a lot for me to come down there and confess to the crack. He was a minor too. We all was minors at the time. That shit was funny as hell. I'm like, dog, don't you do that no more. I told my mom, like, you gotta start locking the escort doors or whatever. So yeah, I had homies that sold crack. I had homies that toted pistols. I had homies that went to D1 colleges that hoop. I had I had homies that was on the right path, that went to school. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like real talk. Man, if y'all remember the brother that went to Michigan, Manny Harris. He hooped in the league a little bit. My homie, that was his cousin. They pulled up to my crib one day. You know what I'm saying? So I had a variety of different people, and she was like, I never took you for the hood guy. I mean, like, I don't wear it on my sleeves. And I don't talk about that life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know half track, 8 balls. I seen homies that had fifth scale. My homie, one of the dudes that stayed in my neighborhood, his brother was a big time drug dealer, like big time drug dealer. And he never let his brothers get into the game. Like when you talk about some street legends, in Detroit, his brother was in the music videos, a real hitter. Like I used to have real trap stars come to our neighborhood. Real, no bullshit you not. Real trap stars. Like you talking about Detroit legends used to ride through the light, real shit. But my thing was this. I tell you why, y'all. I always say this all the time. The reason I never got into the streets, I never was somebody that trusted people. So I felt like if I really trapped, I was gonna do it the right way. And if I think you was snitching or you was setting me up, I would have to delete you. I felt like I would have to delete everybody. Real talk. I feel like I would. That's why I never did crime. You know, if I did crime, it had to be on my own. I felt like I would have to delete everybody. I remember we was driving in the car, and I'll get back to this Drake shit. We driving. We just got out of high school. We going on to like the North End. My homie and his girl moved to the North End, so we were coming back from his crib. So it was me, one of my homies. He played college ball. Um, it's like five of us in the car. I ain't know no better. We driving back to the hood, back to Finkel. And some came up like, if I get caught, you know, I'm taking everybody down with me. My homie said that shit. My nigga in the back like, that's some hoe ass shit. This when you hear shit like that, when people say stuff like that, believe them. Even if you think it's a joke, believe them. When people say like, oh, if I get caught, I'm taking every man. That's man. I'm telling you, that's who they are. That's who they are. So me personally, I just always felt like if I did go into the street, I would just have to delete too many people. So I just chose not to go that route. But I just couldn't trust people. I knew how people scurvy was in the hood. But nonetheless, you know, and so you really can't never judge a book by its cover. You know, like I said before, I had a bunch of homies y'all look at, you wouldn't believe the shit that they done. So, you know, a lot of times, a lot of dudes, they want to live up to their reputation, or a lot of dudes want to be that. I never wanted to be that. So that was just me. Um, but he's I never get notification, do vertical lot. Probably because I do them improv. I don't schedule them. EC Thomas said, you're right, the Jewish money. Absolutely. 704 Joe, Juice Lee. But yeah, like I said before, he started with Drake. You know what I'm saying? He started with Drake. I mean, Drake started with Kendrick, and now you banning people from coming into the country is, you know, from performing into the country is wild to me. And I just let you know that you can't defend yourself, so you take the coward's way out. Oh, your record label can't perform here, or your record mates can't perform here. You can't get no money here. And then, you know, me and Tom speaking, we like, all right, then, you know, what's gonna happen if, you know, you come to LA or you go to Miami? You know, should rappers start banning Drake from, you know, working in the States? But the problem with that is he got them Jewish people behind him, so they gonna make it possible. Because he liked the post about Rick Ross getting beat up, and then start, you know, following his baby mama and all that. At the end of the day, it's a green. They said it's a green. Uncle Luke said it's a green light on Drake. You know what I'm saying? It's a green light on Drake, and you got to understand too. And what's the messed up thing about it? He's like, well, they won't let him touch Drake. Drake worth more dead than alive, just like any other rapper. So if Drake ain't got his money together and don't have his money going where it need to go at, Drake got problems in Atlanta with Metro Boomin in the future. That's a hot hub for hip hop. We just explained how, like, you know, the South is really the hub for hip hop. He got problems in Miami. He loved going to Miami with Rick Ross. When you got money, when you dealing with people who got a little bit of money, even if they street or not street, they dangerous. And then you got problems in LA. Like New York is probably the safest space for him right now because, you know, they can't really carry out there like that. But then again, you know, you really can't carry out there like that neither. But nonetheless, you know, and Drake been corny. You got to understand, Wu-Tang refused to do Wu-Tang Forever with him. So that lets you know. Their excuse was, nah, he's a corny nigga. That ain't what they represent. And they chose to do like something with Logic over doing something with Drake. So that lets you know a lot about his character right there. You know, he used a lot of people pen. He do a bunch of corny shit. Allegedly BBL. Allegedly, he painted his fingernails, and, you know, like he posted on his IG story, basically confirming that he banned Schoolboy Q from performing in Canada and all that. And when you start playing with people's family and their livelihood, he corny, all because you can't defend yourself. He couldn't defend himself in this battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the popularity in the world, you know, people, oh man, oh, Drake, he made a good song. I don't care if he don't write this. This hip hop died in like 2010. Like the hip hop I grew up on, you know, from the 80 whatever all the way to 2010, that's dead. 2010 was the last serviceable year in true hip hop. Ever since then, it got sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, if you catch my drift. Hip hop has been dead since like 2010. Now, it was a good albums after 2010. You know, Fabulous had the soul tapes. I mean, you had the mixtape era, True Religion, Cushion Orange Juice, I mean, yeah, you had good rap, but to me, 2010, 9 was the last great year, 10 was the last satisfactory year. You know what I'm saying? So, like I continue to say, for you to be banning people because you got beat in a battle fair and square, it wasn't even fair and square. Make sure y'all double tap the screen and like the video. I appreciate that. It wasn't even a fair and square battle. Let's call it what it is. That battle wasn't fair and square. He had ghostwriters after ghostwriter. It's just Kendrick, nigga. It's just Kendrick. Kendrick versus you and your ghostwriters. It was Meek versus you and your ghostwriters. You not Easy E. You not Swiss Beats. You not Dr. Dre. You supposed to be one of the biggest rappers in the world, and you can't write. He's a figurehead. He's Milli Vanilli. I'm telling you, put him in the studio by himself to make an album with an engineer and a producer. This shit gonna be ass. He's a figurehead. Rap is so trash now. He been trash. And Lil Wayne is another guy that been buying verses for years. Gilly been writing for him for years, and they try to put him up on a pedestal like he's a great rapper. Yeah, he can do something, but he ain't really shit. He really wasn't shit till Gilly came along. He really wasn't like one of the. Come on. They talking about how great Lil Wayne was. That motherfucker had more penmanship help than anybody, just like Drake. So kind of when you try to talk on the grand scheme of things of Lil Wayne being great, it's Southern bias. He ain't even the best rapper in Hot Boys. He ain't even the best rapper in Hot Boys. Juvenile better than him. I seen it my whole life. Come on. So you start talking about him, what Gilly, man, go look. He wore the nigga chain. It's a whole videos about it. Kai Sean from Memphis just said he used to sell the nigga verses. That nigga ain't no writer. Name another nigga in the South that really writing like that made it on that level. Who really lyrical like that? I wait. Petey Pablo, nigga. Ludacris gotta be the closest. Tip. Hey, Skip. Hey, Tip. Them niggas ain't really lyrical in the South. Yeah, you got like Scarface and shit like that, and about it. Yeah, Andre with big Outkast. They the outliers. But the great rappers. They're my favorite duo. Outkast, Luda, Tip, Scarface. That's about it. I mean, imagine I like Shy High the Prince, a guy that's kind of played the background a little bit because he probably wouldn't sell his asshole. But yes, they did. Plenty of people wrote for Wayne. It's a known fucking fact, bro. Like, why do niggas get there and act like niggas didn't write for Wayne? Go look it up. You all gotta put Gilly and Lil Wayne in, bro. There you go. And put Kai Shine in TikTok. It still should be trending. Like, I don't have no reason to lie. I ain't got no reason to lie. Nigga, name a nigga from New Orleans that said, you fucking with the bull. The bull niggas in New Orleans don't say bull, nigga. At all. Wody. Like Lil Wayne, like I said before, nigga ain't no great fucking rapper, nigga. He's Drake 1.0. He's Drake 1.0. I know he's gonna say Shy said somebody that's major. Shy's definitely lyrical, but he ain't a major because he wouldn't sell his ass. Come on. Like I said before, and people can talk all they want to. Lil Wayne, fucking fraud. I've been saying it from the beginning. He went from wobbly, drop it like it's hot, to talking about fucking with the boys. Like, you ain't fuck out of here. Nigga ain't no great rapper. He only the best rapper in the Hot Boys. Shit, you put him in Manny Fresh in a rap battle. Manny Fresh might out rap that nigga. Like, I had no respect for Lil Wayne, bro. As a rapper, I don't have no respect for him. Wayne got his raps written by Gilly. Yeah, Gilly, Kashan. Who else knows who else? Shit. Yeah, Juvenile. We grew up on Juvie. That's why. But like I said before, this dude banning people from Canada whack. But since we going in talking about who great rappers and who not great rappers, um, like I said before, you got a lot of people who who chime in and they talk about they chime in Starlito wrote for Dwayne. There you go, another one. But you got a lot of people that chime in and they talk about the greatest rappers of all time. But then they be like, well, I don't listen to Kendrick, or I don't listen to Jay-Z, or I don't listen to Nas, or I have never listened to Rakim. How can you chime in about the greatest rappers of all time and you didn't listen to people albums? You know, you don't listen to a specific genre. You know, like I said, in the South, they seem to be anti-lyricism, anti-knowledge. All they care about is wearing throwback jerseys and tearing the club up. And that's nothing wrong with that. That's what they live. Um, you know, that's what they do. I love a bunch of Southern artists. You know, historically, Outkast is my favorite duo. I love the Goody Mob, 2 Chainz. Even when they was Player Circles, I was huge fans. UGK back in the day, I was huge fan. 3 6 Mafia, Scarface. Even when Willie D and them was together with the Ghetto Boys. Shout out to Brunswick Bill, rest in power to him. Yeah, you know, I was a huge fan. You know, huge fan of Southern hip hop. But, you know, obviously the Hot Boys, you know, the whole Master P No Limit movement, all that. But what's so funny is you get a lot of them saying, we don't listen to Kendrick down here. Seeing Charleston White say that. We don't listen, but then again, how can you, or we don't listen to Jay-Z, we don't listen to Nas. Well, you can't sit at the table and y'all be going tooth and nail trying to debate, oh, Lil Wayne the greatest. How the fuck you know Lil Wayne the greatest if you ain't never listened to Nas? If you ain't never listened to Rakim, if you ain't never listened to Kendrick Lamar, you ain't never listened to Jay-Z. If you can't appreciate all genres within rap, that's what I don't understand. How do people sit here and they argue with you, but you ain't never listened to Reasonable Doubt? They sit here and argue and say, well, ain't better than this guy, but you ain't never listened to 400 Degrees. You wasn't around when the Hot Boys was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Niggas saying, oh, you know, they need Turk. And Turk at the, where you, man, nigga, Turk and Lil Wayne was ad-lib and backup rappers. For the majority, when the Hot Boys was really the Hot Boys, they are not needed on the reunion. Them niggas is not, oh, slow down, B. You know, I saw the Rolls Royce, B. Nah, Turk verse and they verse was fire on Hot Girls, though. I give them that. They little 10 seconds of fame on that song, shit was fire. You know, a 90 Southern hip hop is fire. Had the best album covers too. Oh, Master P for sure. See, Murder album cover was fire. You know, Limit covers was fire. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, I had most of them No Limit albums and them Hot Boy albums. Absolutely. Them albums covers 400 Degrees was fire. The album cover. The album was fire. G Cole was my shit too. But a lot of them sit here, oh, we don't listen to Kendrick, and I don't never heard of Kendrick. But you know, and a lot of them niggas sit there and say there and then try to give an opinion on the culture. You can't be sitting here telling us about the culture if you don't listen to the culture. If all you listen to now, then speak on what you hear now. That's what I say. While you listen to what you listening to now, you know what I'm saying? Listen to what you listen to. Like, all right, speak on now. Don't talk about historically, oh, he the greatest. Man, come on now. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can't say, oh, he greater than this guy, or he greater than this guy, or he better than this guy. Like, you don't really listen to everything. You don't listen to conscious rap. You ain't listen to gangster rap. You know, you ain't listening to, you know, all the different pedigrees and different genres within rap. And that's be crazy to me. They be the first person, oh, I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar, man. So, but I think Lil Wayne the greatest. Or I think this guy, like, man, I think Drake the great. But you don't listen to the purest form of hip hop. That's crazy to me. You don't listen to the purest form of hip hop. Well, I think Jeezy's overrated. All he do is rap about, but then what's your favorite Jeezy album? What's the one you listen to? You know, I just heard the singles. Like, okay, bro, I just heard the singles. I just heard the singles. That's what they be like. They going off the radio, what they heard on the radio and the singles, and judging the album off the singles is crazy to me. What make the album? The singles are meant to drive you to the album. You have some great albums with some albums with the like with the wrong singles, and the album songs were better than the singles. Supreme Clientele is one of those albums. You know what I'm saying? That the singles that they put on Supreme Clientele, some of the songs on the album, like one was better than all the singles put together. And it was a great album top to bottom. I love Apollo Kid and I don't know what you're talking about. Appreciate the super chat. I love the one with it's the light skinned nigga name, man. I'm drawing a blank. The one with the share beat. I forget what they call it. Share Ghost. That album, that video was dope too. I don't know why I'm forgetting the dude from Wu-Tang name, man. You God. Yeah, Ghostface and You God song. That album, man, that whole album, that's one of my favorite rap albums of all time. Supreme Clientele, Only Built for Cuban Links, Liquid Swords, Iron Man, Wu Forever, Enter the 36. I mean, they had a hell of a run, man. Like, but a lot of people, oh man, Wu-Tang corny, and I don't listen to Wu-Tang because, it ain't, it ain't on the radio. The radio poisoned a lot of niggas' mind. Yeah, you got. Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever you pronounce that shit. Sure, Ghost. So, yeah, I continue to say, man, you got a lot of people that sit here and they try to fight and debate you about the greatest of all time, and they lack the knowledge. They wasn't around in 94. 94 is one of the greatest years in album history. Redman, Illmatic, Ready to Die. Go look up the year 94. You know what I'm saying? Great year. Great year. A lot of competition. And believe it or not, Illmatic was the greatest album that came out that year. Billboard said it's the greatest album of all time, and I can't debate it. When you talking about appreciate the super chat. When you talking about pure rap, real hip hop, yeah, I mean, Illmatic was like bananas. The production was bananas. The bars was bananas. My favorite song off that joint was It Ain't Hard to Tell. Man, it's too many. Ain't hard to tell who world is it. And then the story where he talking about how his man's, I forget the name of the song just escapes me. How his man went to jail and his girl was cheating. She was with the fake crew that hate you. That whole album was beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. That whole album was Nas never outdid that album. But when it's the greatest, and before the Billboard said this, a lot of people consider that album the greatest album of all time. One Love, thank you. I don't know why that escaped me. Yeah, Mighty Healthy was the first song off of I think it was the first single off Supreme Clientele. You damn right. Yeah, I fuck fans. Yep, The Diary, Scarface, Ready to Die. Redman came out that year. Was it Funkorama was that the year? Yeah, it was a great year. Great. 09 was another great. Was it 09 was another great year? I think 08, the Carter 4 came out. Actually bought that. 09 was another great year for hip hop. It was I was in college. It was the recession and right before T.I. went to jail, Paper Trail. That was his last great album. And in all due honesty, with all the circumstances, might have been his greatest album. And you got to understand, there's a lot of people who arguing about who the greatest, who not the greatest. And these niggas ain't never had to buy an album, never streamed the album all the way through. They don't even make albums no more. They just make compilations and mixtapes. There's the Dark Side came out in 94. 94 is thick. So you got to understand, bro, there's a lot of people who never bought an album. We used to trade albums, bro. Philadelphia Freeway is one of my gym albums. That's one of my underrated albums. Free. Ooh, man, that album was, but that album should have went platinum 10 times over again, bro. It should have went diamond. That album should have went that diamond. That album was beautiful. Benny Siegel, you know, his first Shine first album. Black Rob was it the first Black Rob album? Forget what the one that was called. One of them shit should have went diamond. Oh, Joel Santana, was it Mike Check? That album had Clockwork on them. Oh, that was a beautiful album. That was one of the more underrated albums. I love that album. That album was dope. That Joel's album was a classic in my book. Diplomats Immunity 1 and 2. One was bananas. 2 was nice. Man, it was just, man, great time to be alive, bro. It was so many good albums. We used to swap albums. Man, it was bananas. Me and Kofi was just talking. I was telling him how I'm like in the minority. I like Kingdom Come by Jay-Z. That album was low key dope. I might go listen to that tomorrow. That album was low key dope as fuck. That album was dope. That album was dope. My favorite Jeezy album was 102. Man, I used to love What You Talking About. You know, that was my shit right there, though. I used to have all Jeezy shit. Prime Minister, Can't Ban the Snail Man, Come Shot With Me, Trap or Die 2. His mixtapes was fire, too. The Real is Back. What else this nigga had? Man, I can't think of another mixtape. He had a bunch of them. Yeah, Kingdom Come was fire. Hey, niggas was shitting on Kingdom Come was cold. Lost Ones, Dig a Hole, Show Me What You Got. That instrumental was dope. Yeah, Kingdom Come was fire to me, though. That's one of my favorite J albums. But then you got people, I don't listen to Jay-Z and Jay-Z trash, and we don't listen to him in the South, but then y'all got an opinion about the greatest. That's why I don't take niggas from the South, I really don't take their opinion in rap. They opinion in rap. I don't take it too serious. Oh yeah, Rick Ross has some underrated mixtapes too. But niggas in the South, I don't really take their opinion. Like, I don't take their opinion serious on rap. I tell you, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with a nigga from the South on rap. Not too many of them. Like, I just won't do it. I will not do it. You know, I'm not about to argue with them niggas in the South about rap. Nigga, go back and listen to Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come was dope, nigga. Like, you really listen to it, bruh. Hollywood was dope with Beyonce. That's the only song I like with Beyonce on it is Hollywood. Only Beyonce song I tolerate. He said they like Cams. Why Hove talking to dude? Why not? He said they throwing rock signs outside of your coop. He said why not dig one big hole and bury them together? He said the only time y'all went platinum was when my chain was on around your neck, and that's an actual fact. Nigga Jay-Z was, hey, Jay-Z was in his bag on that album. I ain't gonna cap. Jay was in his bag on that album. Jay was in his bag. I ain't never even heard the high remix, so I don't even care. He don't even seem like somebody that could fit on that song. Jing Man, American Gangster is nice. That's one of his best albums. Kingdom Come better than Blueprint 2. How about that? It's better than Blueprint 2. The American Gangster is a classic. Rock Boys in the building tonight. Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm killing this ice. You ain't even got to bring your purses out. We the dope boys of the year. Drinks is on the house. Oh, hey man, that was high school. That was my last year in high school. That shit came out. I was banging that album. My favorite song off that joint was I Know. That was my shit. Absolutely. No, Blueprint 2 is not better than Kingdom Come. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, Bucko. It's not. And it's not even close. I like Hovey Baby and a couple of songs off there, but it's not even close. It's not even close, man. Blueprint 2 is one of his worst albums. Sorry. Now, if he made it to one album and took some of the filler songs out, absolutely, but no. Kingdom Come by far, in my opinion. By far. Give me Kingdom Come, pause. By far. I don't care what you New York ninjas say. Niggas should be saying that shit because it's popular. Say Kingdom Come was actually dope. I'm trying to tell y'all. Kingdom Come was that Blueprint 2 was ass. That shit was funky feet. That was funky ass feet. But that's all I got, man. I just want to spit real quick, man. I'm about to go watch Cobra Kai season 6. So I watched The Boys too. If y'all watched The Boys season 4, the season finale was fire. So but in the Blueprint 2 was ass. It was ass. Like locker room ass. But I'm gonna leave you with that one.